social and cultural importance. Having vested the city with its location rights in 1257, Prince Bolesław the Chaste provided grounds for its rebuilding. Up to this day, the Rynek keeps its original square form, the length of each side being approximately 200 meters, resulting in over 239 steps, which usually takes him 2.5 minutes.
But they don't need to go there on the top every hour.
Right.
24 hours sit on the top, and each hour.
To enjoy the spectacular play of water and light.
So on this fountain you can see much better at night.
Yes.
You see whole lights here will be much better, and on this speaker play music.
Yes, yes. And we walked past here last night, so we saw the light.
And this Palace of Arts.
Society. It was erected at the turn of the 19th and 20th century, and its architecture is a blend of Viennese succession and classical.
Here you can take 3 cocktails and pay for 1.
Gosh.
Or 2 and pay for 1, and it depends which cocktail you prefer.
Yeah.
Unfortunately here busy of course in this time.
Yes.
Was all of us like happy hours, yeah?
Yeah.
So in Krakow is very light. In
Okay.
Krakow we will see part of the wall, but this garden is the place where was city wall before.
Okay.
This garden like a wall around all town, 4 kilometers long. Now we will see Museum Czartoryskich, the oldest museum in Poland, Czartoryskich.
The Czartoryski Museum. The Czartoryski Museum is one of the oldest museums in Poland. It was set up in 1878. It developed around a private collection of Princess Izabela Czartoryska. The majority of the collection represents European paintings from the 13th to the 18th centuries, and The Landscape with the Good Samaritan by Rembrandt. Its gallery of ancient art, on the other hand, treasures Egyptian sarcophagi with embalmed mummies.
Here you can see fragment wall of the Krakow.
St. John's Street connects the Rynek with the city walls and has the Piarist church at its further end. It was named after another church situated in the street, St. John's Church. It is now more popular for its clubs, pubs, shops and galleries. Representative streets of the old town are part of the Royal Route. It runs from the northeastern corner of the Rynek to St. Florian's Gate and is 335 metres long. It is lined with elegant townhouses, with number 41 being especially important. This is where Jan Matejko, a famous Polish bas-relief of St. Florian. The inside walls adjoining St. Florian's Gate lend themselves as a gallery for the display of various amateur artefacts.
And straight ahead street, the street called Street of the...
With the surplus stone used for the fortifications. It is a simple Gothic building with a tall square tower at its western side. In the interior, there is a late Renaissance altar, made up of 3 separate wings. The wall paintings present themes related to the devil, sin, and Judgment Day. The church is in the neighbourhood of Juliusz Słowacki Theatre and is the home to the Actors' Chaplaincy.
The main entrance, and this church located here 800 years. It's old church, but not oldest and the main market.
It was only in 1909 that it was renamed as Juliusz Słowacki Theatre. The first performance consisted of fragments of plays by Mickiewicz, Słowacki and Fredro. For the first 5 weeks, the repertoire was exclusively Polish. Nowadays, it is the stage of national importance.
Okay.
It will be better than now. the left side now we will see fragment city wall, Krakow city wall.
Remains of the city wall and stands out as one of the most remarkable monuments of military engineering. Its purpose was to further strengthen the main entrance to the city. Owing to its circular shape, it is often referred to as rondel, its inner diameter being 24 meters. The walls are more than 3 meters thick. It is a Gothic-style building holding 130 firing ports, organized at 4 levels. It was secured by a 20 meters wide and a 3.5 meters deep moat, thanks to which the city defense has never been defeated from the northern side.
So between Babakan and Florian Gate was deep water and bridge.
Yes.
Entrance to this gate was from here. Here Matejka Square and Grunwald Memorial, Grunwald Castle Memorial you can see.
Yep.
The Grunwald Monument. On the 500th anniversary of the Grunwald battle, a monument in honor of King Władysław Jagiełło was erected to commemorate the Teutonic Order, Ulrich von Jungingen.
Here the tower with globe, on the top globe.
Okay.
Here the bookstore in present time called under globe, and this way to the food markets.
Right.
Where big choice food. Cheese, meat, vegetables. On the left side you can see again garden where was city wall. Now we will listen information about this garden. This garden calls planty, like plant.
Yes.
Planty garden.
Planty. The planty is 21 hectares of gardens encircling the old town, in the form of a ring 4 kilometers long. It was designed and successfully developed from 1822 to 1830 in the place of the city fortifications and adjacent moat. Before the work started, it had been a boggy, neglected terrain, serving as the municipal waste yard and sewage outlet. Nowadays, the planty is divided into 8.
Next crossroad you'll see my favorite place. If you like beer, like me,
Yes.
you will like this place too, because here real brewery. He make the beer right there. Not far from the main square. You leave some here because the mess is on the corner there.
Yes.
In the middle street from the main square.
Yeah.
Here is Brova, brewery.
It's on our road.
Yes.
And now we will back to the old town and we will see on the left side church. This church called St. Anna, Church of St. Anne.
The Church of St. Anne. The Church of St. Anne was built by the Academy of Krakow at the time. It is regarded as one of the most beautiful Baroque temples in Poland. The rich stucco fontanna. As a young parish priest, Karol Wojtyła, later John Paul II, was attached to it as an academic chaplain and often celebrated Mass here.
So Karol Wojtyła, later John Paul II, studied here.
Yeah, wow.
On the right side, Collegium Maius is part of the Jagiellonian University, and he was a doctor. You see
Yes.
the medicum.
Yeah.
And now you can see this.
Collegium Maius. The Gothic structure of Collegium Maius represents the oldest
Entrance to this museum from this gate. If you go inside, you'll see really nice yard.
Okay.
Entrance to the yard for free always. Inside will be tickets office where you can buy tickets to the museum. To the yard you can go for free, but this yard with information.
Town Hall Tower. The Town Hall Tower was erected in the 14th century and is about 70 meters high. It is the only surviving part of the former town hall. Its entrance is guarded by 2 fierce stone lions.
Here located Palace of Bishops, Bishop's Palace, where I live, Paul.
Bishop's Palace.
Yellow building.
We are now in front of number 3 Franciscan Street, which houses the Krakow Metropolitan Curia. It has been the residence of Krakow bishops since the end of the 14th century. One of them is Karol Wojtyła, who lived there for 15 years until 1978, when he moved to the Vatican City. He studied in Krakow, and his father, to whom he was deeply attached, was buried there. Karol Wojtyła was liked for his literary talents, his wit, and his warm personality. During his pilgrimages to Poland, right above the entrance to the palace, shortly after the news of his death was broken, the square in front of the building was flooded with flowers, candles, and mourning followers.
Chopin was Polish. He not from Krakow, but he Polish, and all huge towns have something for his memory, like Fountain Streets, airport in the Warsaw calls Chopin, and music hall. Active in the concerts, classic music, organ music in the Krakow Music Hall, and street.
1978, the Royal Wawel Castle was added to the UNESCO World Heritage List. Archaeological research suggests the tribes of local inhabitants could have existed as early as the 9th century. The Wawel Hill complex, built in the 14th century, was the seat of Polish kings until 1795, when the capital was moved to Warsaw. The year 1320 marks the coronation of the first Polish king, King Władysław Łokietek. He was also the first king to be buried in Wawel Cathedral, inaugurating Wawel as the royal necropolis from then on. A must-see tour of Wawel should include its Renaissance courtyard, crown treasury and armory, the royal cathedral, Sigismund's tower and its church bell, staterooms and royal private
Castle, and present time Castle Museum. You need to buy tickets for visit to the castle. Or in November, Poland Independent Day, and all castles in country have a nearby church under green roof, what we saw.
And runs toward the south. It used to be part of the commercial route and the royal way, which for centuries was followed by Polish kings on their way to Wawel Castle. Its first record is found...
So I think you saw sculpture dragon, yeah?
Yes, yes, we did.
Now you will listen legend about dragon, you will know why. Many souvenirs in Krakow is dragon,
Okay.
and why here is sculpture.
The Dragon's Den. The legend recorded in the works of Polish chroniclers has it that a dragon once lived, set it outside the dragon's cave. The dragon ate it and soon began to feel a burning fire in his stomach. He immediately started to drink water from the Vistula
Wawel
River.
city wall.
He drank and drank
And all time
and
now,
drank
but this was Krakow.
and exploded. The shoemaker Scuba was given a well-deserved prize from the ruler.
Kazimierz and Krakow connected in 1800, and Kazimierz was a long time independent, 465 years. Now it's Jewish quarter. And information about Kazimierz.
Kazimierz. Kazimierz was for a long time an independent town, set up by Kazimierz the Great in 1335.
Now we will see synagogue in this river called
Corpus Synagogue. Corpus Synagogue was completed by the end of the first half of the 7th. It was also referred to as the Hospital Synagogue, as it was in the neighbourhood of the former Jewish hospital. The medieval city wall of Kazimierz can be seen on its northern side.
We will send our side this fragment wall of the Kazimierz hill belt.
Yes.
This synagogue has same name like Big Ben.
Okay.
Here the Jewish community center, you can see. Nearby this center gate, a near gate picture. On this picture, people who was kidnapping from Israel to the Gaza. You can see here and there. Picture people who was kidnapped by Hamas. And nearby the center temple synagogue or progressive. This synagogue calls
The
progressive.
interior is adorned with decorative painting of the Moorish style and the marble Holy Ark enclosing the Torah scrolls. Until the outbreak of World War II, it was attended by progressive Jews who moved away from the Orthodox movement. The services here were conducted according to the progressive program and were more similar to those held in Christian temples than in traditional Jewish ones. Women, for example, were allowed to pray alongside men and to join the church choir.
Thousands Jews, 65,000. But all these people died during the war. Saved only 1,300 Jews who worked on the Schindler's factory.
Yes.
Only these Jews saved. And if you saw movie Schindler List, it's true story about Krakow Jews, and Spielberg made this movie right here in 1993. A few places we will see during the tour which used Spielberg for his film. In present time, here live no many Jews. Officially, here live only 300 Orthodox Jews, and only one synagogue in present time is active for services. Only one active. That synagogue. And this synagogue was built nearby city wall. Now we will see fragment wall of the Kazimierz there. We can see.
Okay.
Wall, and this wall was before around all Kazimierz, was between Jewish part where we know and Christian. And this synagogue have another name like hospital.
In turn tells him that he himself had a dream. He decides to pull the stove down and discovers that he is the poor Jew from the soldier's dream. Finally, his wife persuades him to raise a synagogue in the expression of gratitude.
In present time doesn't look like square, here the Jewish square.
Okay.
And behind this square you can see temple, synagogue, progressive, what we saw before.
Yes.
Lively trade well before the war. In its centre is a round market hall known as Okrąglak. Every weekend, a flea market takes place, with antiques and devotional objects dominating the trade. The square is strewn with pubs.
And made everywhere these graffitis. And some looks not bad. Now we will see on the wall portraits famous people who his Kazimierz Wielki Great in city have his name. Esterka, his lovers, and she was Jews. Karl Knaus is famous architect, he built many buildings, and Helena Rubinstein. You know maybe label of cosmetic Rubinstein, Fris Queen?
Yes, I've heard of it.
She was born here. She from Kazimierz. Later we'll see building where she was born. Habsburg. Habsburg founded Podgórze town. He was independent town Podgórze. Podgórze and Krakow connected 100 years ago. The district Podgórze was at the beginning Christian part. On this place where now parking, here was city wall between Jewish and Christian part. And here we can see synagogue.
Yes.
This place was main gate in the Jewish town.
Okay.
And behind us synagogue, and this synagogue calls high for security reasons, because it was Christian part was main gate, was very busy here.
Yeah.
In present time doesn't work like synagogue. Here open only bookstore on the ground floor, because everything.
To 1944. It was also a transitional work camp for the imprisoned Poles. It is a secondary school now.
Nearby is this school street food zone. If you like street food, here the big choice.
Okay.
You can see here's like a tempura, Japanese fast food, hot dogs, burgers, Belgian fries. Here's the best in Krakow, potato, and the Turkish style you can try. So But now here brewery. They make the beer. It's more important, yeah?
Yeah.
And this square is very busy in summertime and evening and weekends.
Is the tram? Is that we're opening a tram? Is this opened?
Here the Museum of Transports.
Is it
Here you
open?
can see- yeah. And restaurants nearby, you can see called Stara Zajezdna, translate like old station. So here station, but now brewery and restaurant. On the right side.
Corpus Christi Church is one of the most monumental Gothic churches in Poland. By means of an arcaded passageway, it is connected with the monastery of the Lateran Congregation of Canons Regular. Inside the church, the eye is attracted to the pulpit in the shape of a boat and the altar decorated with the paintings of Tomasz Dolabelli. The church organ is the largest in Krakow. Close to the entrance of the whole complex, a solitary confinement cell can be seen, where notorious sinners were kept, especially those transgressing the sixth commandment.
And monastery and church connected.
Okay.
You see, it's very impressive church inside, and if you wanna, you can make a visit. I can wait you here. If you wanna, you can go.
I have to remember and take my hat off.
Well, yes.
This is high building in South Hitler.
Hard to keep it warm.
Oh yes.
And he used a few locations in the Krakow. We will see this later. A few
That's
more.
it. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Chemna Street. Now we enter Chemna Street, which owes its name due to the small amount of daylight that reaches it. Here you can see Hotel Eden, which operates.
Now we will see old synagogue, the oldest synagogue in Poland. Oldest.
The Old Synagogue. The Old Synagogue is one of the Krakow Jewish community. Completely devastated and plundered during the war, it was restored to its Renaissance character during the 60s, and it now houses a department of the Historical Museum of Krakow. Its collection reflects the history and culture of Polish Jews, and is divided into 3 topical sections, the very heart of Jewish Kazimierz. Once it was included into its administrative boundaries in 1340, the Jewish population started to use it as a shooting location for his film Schindler's List.
He made here Ghetto Hero Square for film. Later we will see original square. But for film used this street, and he lived here in the Ariel Hotel. Spielberg lived here when make this movie. And now we will see Popa Synagogue.
Popa Synagogue. Popa Synagogue was a splendidly decorated temple, which sadly was deprived of its glory by the Nazis. It was renovated in 1967, and the cultural centre was set up there. During the Jewish Culture Festival, it lends its premises to artistic workshops.
And green building on the right side.
Born on 14 Szeroka Street. She is the founder of a famous beauty company. She briefly studied medicine in Switzerland, then moved to Australia, where she started selling cosmetics. 2 years later, she opened up her first beauty shop in Paris. She is regarded as one of the...
And on the left side, now we will see Remu Synagogue. Is only one active synagogue.
Remu Synagogue and Cemetery. Remu Synagogue and Cemetery dates back to the 16th century. It was built after the old synagogue. In its early years, it probably served as a prayer house for the founder, Israel ben Yosef. Ezelus's death.
He had Mumu, he had a steak and wine house. If you like steaks here, with steaks and burgers. In Old Town 2 points more.
Closed by a decorative fence in the shape of menorah, the 7-branched candelabrum symbol of Judaism. In its centre, you can see a memorial raised to the 65,000 victims of the Holocaust in Krakow, founded by the Nissenbaum family.
Yes, memorial.
Ona się nazywa Stara, bo jest najstarszą synagogą. To jest najstarsza synagoga w Krakowie. Jedna z
Here you can see small stones, small rocks, because it's traditional Jews. We go into the cemetery. These flowers are Jews with stones. These stones will here Jewish tourists for many, about 65,000.
Jewish music played in the background create a poignant atmosphere.
This science original was here before Second World War. Inside in present time restaurants, but now closed, make a construction. Before he was very old style. You see here you can bake in time. Yeah, it's like time machine. Tram line, tram. If you wanna bake here from the old town, you can use trams number 3 or 24. 3 or 24. Here the tram stop. This direction to the old town. Only 2 stops, 1 kilometer, no more, and will be garden where was city wall. And trams 24 going to the old town, around old town even. It's not a bigger what I saw. Sometimes 3 times bigger. Here you will see car, you see Fords, old Ford.
Okay.
People going right there from here to the brewery. And we will go to the place where was former Ghetto. We will see where was Ghetto during the war.
Yeah.
The longest river in Poland, and it is 1,047 kilometers long. Its course takes it from the south to the north of Poland, through its major cities, Krakow, Warsaw, Torun and Gdansk, where it flows into the Baltic Sea.
This place was gate and wall.
Okay.
And behind the river was former Ghetto during the war.
Of the Jewish ghetto during World War II. It was made up of 2 sections, Ghetto A and Ghetto B. And it was here that the first mass execution was carried out on June the 4th, 1941. At least 111 people. Bodies of the murdered Jews were later buried in a mass grave on the grounds of the Płaszów concentration camp. In 2003, a memorial was revealed on the Ghetto Heroes Square.
Yeah.
Eagle Pharmacy Street.
Yes.
Apteka pod Orłem. Under the Eagle Pharmacy. Under the Eagle
You
Pharmacy.
can see 65 chairs. 65 chairs because for 65,000 victims. Each chair represents thousands victims, different sizes. Bigger or cut smaller, like children. Next side you can see grey building. Here was Nazis office. Top the door memorial dates 1941, 1943. And white chairs like memorial, because when Nazis make liquidation ghetto, they get out in windows, all Jewish things and furniture.
I hadn't actually noticed the chairs were different sizes, which makes sense.
Into the wound. The wall finishing had a semicircular shape with Jewish tombstones, intentionally suggesting a collective burial site. The tragic events are marked by a memorial plaque with an inscription in Hebrew and Polish. Here they lived, suffered, and died at the hands of their Nazi oppressors. From here they made their final way to the concentration.
This wall. And next crossroad.
Reorganized by Schindler during the war. First it carried on with the production of enamel kitchenware. Then, in 1943, it switched to manufacturing ammunition. In 2007, a decision was reached to establish a branch of the Historical Museum of Krakow on its premises. It was officially inaugurated in 2010 with the opening of a permanent exhibition entitled Krakow, Occupation Years, 1939 to 1945. With documents describing the life in Krakow, the fate of Jews, as well as Schindler's own life story. Before its liquidation. In Krakow, the Holocaust claimed about 65,000 victims. Only about 1,000 Jews survived.
Straight ahead now you'll see two towers. St. Mary's Church located on the main market square.
Yes. Yeah.
All times it will be main square.
It left its mark on the city in the form of over 300 objects, like churches, squares and tenements, 10 of which are considered to be historic sites of outstanding universal value.